Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. I am your host Anis Nadia and welcome to Nightline. Today, we want to hear the opinion about the Malaysian automotive and supplier industry, specifically the market during 2012. For today's segment, we have three special guests. Our first guest is Malaysian professional economist Dr. Rostan, and our second guest is Malaysian Transport Min Datuk Sri Nur Fakrul. And our last guest is Tan Sri Liana Aris, who is the chairman of the Malaysian Automotive Association (MAA).
Malaysia is a dynamic country which is constantly evolving. Being a middle-income country, Malaysia has transformed itself since the 1970s from a producer of raw materials into an emerging multi-sectors economy, spurred on by high technology, knowledge-based and capital-intensive industries. Malaysia's economic performance ranking improved to 7th place out of 59 economies in 2012, compared with 12th position in 2007. It is one of the 20 largest trading nations worldwide and was headed of Taiwan, Sweden, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and Switzerland. The World Competitiveness Book 2011 report, released by the Institute of Management Development, continued to rank Malaysia as among the top 5 most competitive nations in the Asia-Pacific region, taking the 6th position in the 20 million population category and the 2nd position after Taiwan in the GDP per capita less than $20,000 category. Moreover, the country is the 21st largest exporter among all trading nations worldwide.
Is it a prime location, isn't it?
Indeed, it is strategically located in the heart of Southeast Asia. Malaysia offers a cost-competitive location for investors to intending to set up offshore operation in order to manufacture advanced technological products for both regional and international markets. In addition, Malaysia has a market-oriented economy which is supported by pro-business government policies. The Malaysian government has an economy vision, also known as Vision 2020, which is to transform Malaysia into a high-income country by year 2020. The program will lift Malaysia's gross national income to 523 billion US dollar by year 2020 and raise per capita income from 6,700 US dollar to at least 15,000 US dollar, meeting the World Bank's threshold for high-income nation. To achieve targets set, Malaysia needs an annual growth of GNI of 6%. There are plans to revitalize Malaysian private sector to grow the service sector from 58 to 65% and to create 3.3 million new jobs opportunities.
Wow, that sounds like an ambitious plan. But let's talk about the hot topic of the night, the Malaysian automotive and supplier industry. What can you tell us about the Malaysian automotive market?
First off, Malaysia has the biggest automobile customer market in Southeast Asia. Back to the early 1960s, when the Malaysian government developed a policy to promote an integrated automotive industry to strengthen its its industrial base and reduce its dependency on the agriculture sector. The main objective of the promotion of the automotive industry constitute the limitation of imports, the reduction of expense in foreign exchange, the creation of employment, and the development of the industrial sector. Even nowadays, the automotive industry is designed to boost the country's industrialization process and to enable it to reach the status of the developed nation by 2020. The Malaysian Industrial National Automotive is not only one of the major industry sector, but also represent a matter of national pride. In terms of fact and figures, the sector ranks amongst the most top 20 in the world and disposes of the largest passenger car market in the Asian region.
Well, if it's impressive now, I'm sure that we are all looking forward to 2020. In the meantime, what are the most popular cars here?
Two national car projects, Proton, which commenced operation in 1985, and Prodwa, which was founded in 1994, dominated the automotive industry, commanding 26% and 30% respectively of the local market. In the non-national car segment, Nissan held 6.5% of the market, while Toyota held 80% and Honda 6%. The entry of Proton into the local automobile market resulted in massive structural changes in the industry. The industry shifted from assembly activity to manufacture of vehicle and automotive parts. The sales and the market share of Japanese cars, which had dominated the market prior to the launch of Proton, were reduced as Malaysians bought their national car. The success story of Proton and Proda were positively influenced by the high tariffs imposed by the government. Many analysts viewed the protectionist policies implemented by the Malaysian government as the most interviewing among Asian countries. As a consequence, national cars market share amounted more than 59% of the total sale in 2009, and the market share of the two big Malaysian car manufacturers, Proton and Proda, still accounted to 59% in February 2011. Today, with the opening of the market due to the Asian Free Trade Agreement, the national car domestics market share has dropped to less than 60%. In Asia, Malaysia is the third biggest car market with 3 manufacturers, 8 car assemblers, 9 motor assemblers, and more than 800 component manufacturers, and employs more than 300,000 people. 18 national car dominance is expected to decline further with more liberalization in the near future. In the government 2012 budget, several incentives for further development of the domestic automotive industry were announced to be continued, following global trend and environmental friendly vehicles and fuel efficiency. 100% exemption for import and excise duties was proclaimed to be continued until 31st December 2013.
What about the measures were taken to protect the local industry?
To protect the local automotive industry, a number of import restrictions were imposed on foreign vehicles. Malaysia's government has protected its auto industry from foreign competition by introducing an Asian material content policy, which included imposing high tariffs as well as non-tariff barriers.
So, Tan Sri Liana Arif, may I know how about the sales of the vehicles?
So the Malaysian Automotive Association registered from a marginal decrease of 7.5% in sales of vehicles in 2011 to 599,887 units from 605,156 units in the previous year. Passenger vehicles accounted for 535,112 units, whereas the remaining units were commercial vehicles. After a strong start in 2011, the sales were affected due to the disruption of the supply chain from natural disasters in Japan and Thailand. In 2012, vehicle sales are expected to rise marginally to 615,000 units. Now, the demand for multi-purpose vehicles, or MPV, and A-segment vehicles is estimated to fall in 2012, whereas the popularity of hybrid vehicles is expected to grow by 60% to 13,400 units.
Okay, how is it distributed?
The distribution markets of CBUs, which is completely built-up units in Malaysia, is dominated by a few big local companies, namely Sime Darby, DRB Icon, NASA Motor Trading, and Cycle and Carriage Bintang Berhad. National car manufacturers appoint one or more companies to act as a distributor for them, while foreign car makers choose different means to distribute their automobiles.
How many vehicles in Malaysia import and export in 2011?
In 2011, Malaysia imported motor vehicles worth 9.1 billion ringgit. Imports of car parts and components were 4.5 billion ringgit in 2011. As for the exports of motor vehicles, in 2011 it amounted to 654.2 billion ringgit. Exports of parts and components were 2.2 billion ringgit. Major export destinations are Asian countries, such as Thailand and Indonesia, but large quantities are also transferred to China, Syria, and the United Kingdom.
Well, Ford, we have run out of time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending time with us, and I hope you enjoy back home. Assalamualaikum and good night.